A lion cub falls into a well, and an unlikely alliance forms between a protective mother lion and a caring ranger. Will the cub survive? Share your thoughts on this incredible wildlife rescue in the comments below. In 2022, the vast sun-baked landscape of Serengeti National Park was gripped by a severe drought. The once abundant rivers and watering holes had dwindled, leaving the parched earth cracking under the relentless heat water. The lifeblood of the savanna had become a rare commodity to sustain the wildlife. Park rangers were tasked with refilling wells using water trucks, ensuring that the animals had access to the precious resource. Among those struggling to survive in this harsh environment were a lone mother lion and her cubs separated from their pride. They found a fragile sanctuary near one of the wells, a lifeline amidst the unforgiving wilderness. Each day they ventured to the well, where the cool water offered them brief respite from the scorching heat. The mother lion, ever alert, kept a careful watch on the surrounding landscape. For even in this desolate land, dangers were never far away as the drought deepened. The once thriving ecosystems of the Serengeti were strained in response to the crisis. The park rangers tirelessly worked to refill the deep wells scattered across the park, with water trucks braving the harsh conditions. They ensured that these wells remained a lifeline for the beleaguered wildlife. The wells became crucial gathering points for animals seeking relief from the oppressive heat. Creatures from every corner of the savanna, from the mighty elephants to the smallest antelopes, made their way to these precious pools of water. The air around the wells grew thick with tension. Herds of animals, each vying for their turn, came in a close contact, dangerously so. For the park's inhabitants were not always peaceful neighbors. Yet in the face of such overwhelming thirst, cooperation often replaced conflict, if only for a brief moment. For the mother lion and her cub, these wells were not just a place of survival. They were a temporary refuge, a fragile sanctuary amidst the chaos of a dying landscape. Amidst the vast expanse of the Serengeti, the mother lion and her cub lived in relative seclusion, far removed from the rest of the pride. The pair found solace near one of the wells maintained by the park rangers, a rare source of water in the heart of the drought. With a relentless heat bearing down upon them, they carefully timed their visits to the well, always mindful of the dangers that surrounded them. The air was thick with tension as they approached the precious water source. The mother lion, ever watchful, kept a close eye on the horizon, wary of the larger animals that often gathered at the well, particularly the formidable herd of elephants that roamed the area. Their massive presence was a reminder of the precarious balance of survival in the wild. Yet for the mother lion and her cub, the well was both a sanctuary and a source of vulnerability, a place where survival hung delicately in the balance. One sweltering morning, as the lion cub's curiosity led it closer to the well's edge, disaster struck. In a moment of carelessness, the young cub slipped and tumbled into the deep, dark waters below. Panic surged through the air as the mother lion let out a desperate, heart-wrenching roar. She circled the well frantically, her eyes wide with fear, searching for a way to rescue her cub from the cold depths. Her powerful cry did not go unheard. The nearby herd of elephants, already on alert, sensed the disturbance and began to move toward the well. Their massive, thundering steps drew closer. The mother lion, still frantic, bared her teeth and growled, but it was clear she was outmatched by the elephant's imposing size. The presence of the herd only amplified the tension, creating a volatile atmosphere. As the lioness faced an impossible situation, her cub trapped and vulnerable, and the elephants moving in, drawn by the cry of distress among the approaching elephants, one stood out, a wise and experienced mother. She sensed the urgency in the air. Understanding the peril the lion cub faced with a soft trumpet, she stepped forward, her massive presence commanding the attention of the others. Her movements were deliberate, as though guided by a deep understanding of the delicate balance of life. With remarkable gentleness, she extended her trunk, reaching into the well. Where the cub was struggling, the cub's tiny form was barely visible beneath the surface, exhausted and weak from the ordeal. Using the full strength of her trunk, the mother elephant carefully grasped the cub, lifting it from the cold water with surprising tenderness. The cub's limp body was deposited on the dry ground, with great care, its small chest heaving as it gasped for air. The mother lion, still watchful and desperate, approached slowly, her eyes filled with gratitude and weariness. In that moment, an unspoken understanding passed between the two mothers, one driven by instinct, the other driven by compassion. As the tension in the air thickened, the distant hum of a water truck grew louder. Cutting through the silence of the day, Mosey, a seasoned ranger, had been patrolling the area, ensuring the water wells were replenished. His sharp eyes immediately took in the scene unfolding before him. The mother lion standing fiercely over her cub, the elephant looming protectively in the cub's fragile form at the edge of the well. Without hesitation, Mosey steered the truck closer, the vehicle rumbling over the dry earth. He knew that despite the apparent peace between the lioness and the elephant, the situation could quickly spiral out of control. Approaching with caution, he parked the truck a safe distance away and assessed the interaction. The lioness growled, her stance defensive, but not yet aggressive. The elephant stood nearby, its trunk still hovering protectively over the cub. What Mosey witnessed next was nothing short of extraordinary, a rare moment of harmony between species often seen as rivals. He remained still, waiting for the right moment to intervene and ensure the safety of both animals. Knowing that time was critical, Mosey approached slowly, his every movement deliberate and calm, mindful of the fragile trust between him and the mother lion. The cub lay beside the well, its small body trembling, soaked from its fall, but otherwise seemingly unharmed. The lioness, standing at a distance, kept her watchful eyes fixed on Mosey. Her low growl, a reminder of the power she wielded in protecting her young, but there was no aggression in her stance, just a keen sense of vigilance. Mosey knelt down beside the cub, speaking softly to reassure both the lioness and the cub. His hands gently checked for any signs of injury, scratches, bruises, broken bones. Thankfully, the cub's injuries were minor. A few scratches from the rough edges of the well and the weariness from its traumatic fall. It was exhausted, its breathing shallow, but with rest and care it would recover. He looked up at the lioness, meeting her gaze in that silent moment. An unspoken understanding passed between them. She allowed him to work her protective instincts, momentarily yielding to the trust that had been quietly built in this tense encounter. With a careful, steady hand, Mosey lifted the exhausted lion cub into the back of his truck. He placed the cub gently on a tarp, the material providing a small cushion against the roughness of the bed. The cub's small body trembled, and Mosey could feel the warmth of its fevered skin. Yet there was a spark of life within it that offered hope. He signaled to the mother lion, whose keen eyes followed every movement. Without hesitation, she stepped into the truck. Her body language tense, but trusting the journey to the park's medical center was quiet. The landscape unfolding around them as the truck hummed along the dusty road. Upon arrival, the medical team sprang into action. Skilled hands carefully examined the cub, cleaning its wet fur and treating the small scratches that marred its delicate body. Fluids were administered, and the cub was given much-needed care to counter the exhaustion it had endured all the while. The mother lion stood nearby, her gaze never leaving the cub, her protective instincts unwavering. The bond between them was palpable, an unspoken connection that resonated through every movement. She was there, a constant presence, watching as the cub slowly began to stir its body, responding to the care had received. As the day progressed, the medical staff continued to monitor the lion cub's condition with careful attention. Slowly, the cub's breathing began to steady, and its eyes fluttered open, revealing a faint glimmer of recognition. Its tiny limbs twitched, as if testing the strength of its body, still weak, but undeniably alive. The mother lion, ever watchful, remained by its side, her golden eyes scanning the surroundings, while also keeping a soft, protective gaze on her cub. Mosey, who had tended to the cub with such urgency and compassion, now stood back, allowing the team to complete their work. His heart was lightened by the sight of the cub's recovery. Though small, these signs of life were crucial. He knew that the road to full recovery would still be long, but hope had been reignited. The cub's resilience was a testament to the strength of nature's will to survive. By the end of the day, both mother and cub had been settled in a comfortable enclosure. The cub, though weak, had begun to regain its appetite, and the mother lion, ever vigilant, remained close. They were safe for now in the hands of those who understood the delicate balance between nature's wildness and the care it's so desperately needed. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of survival and compassion in the wild. If you're moved by this story, don't forget to give a like and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming wildlife stories.